All right, here we go. So, hey everybody out there, hopefully you're having a great lunch break so far. At least I hope you're on lunch. And if you're not and you're supposed to be working, well, then I'm glad I can be your source of distraction. So, my name is Joe Faulkner. I'm the marketing specialist over here at Realty Partners. And I usually come out with a blog post along with my current live event. I'm now going to be doing this at noon every Wednesday to give you a little bit of an update on what I've been noticing in terms of trends, not only on Google Trends or any of my Google alerts, but also just what I've been seeing over on the blogosphere as well as the real estate industry itself. So here's what I've been noticing this week is that I know there are a lot of people out there that are in states that have a large senior citizen population. Florida is one of them, especially down in Sarasota where we are right now. There is a very big majority of people down here that are retirees, or they happen to move down here due to other concerns in order to be close to family, things like that. This is very common for around Florida in the area that we're in right now. So, and if you are not in Florida and you think, well, that means I'm not exactly, this doesn't pertain to me, and well, it can. If you live in the following states, then you could actually get some benefit from this for anybody out there that's not in Florida and currently watching. So for anybody that's in Florida, Maine, West Virginia, Vermont, Pennsylvania, Montana, Delaware, Hawaii, Oregon, and Arizona. Those are the top 10 cities that retirees, or not cities, states that retirees go to in order to retire. Well, it's only a natural process. So I'm not exactly sure how West Virginia and Vermont play into that, but I guess they're supposed to be really pretty, so there's that. But those are the top 10 states where they have the largest percentage of population that is over the age of 55. Now, for those of you out there that live in one of these states, if you're not already catering to these people, you're missing out on a giant opportunity, because that is quite a substantial part of people and possible referrals that's going out the door. But then your first thought is, well, seniors are just like any other client that I would have, and so why would I have to make any sort of special accommodations for that? And mind you, I thought the same exact thing. I'm not a realtor, nor do I plan to do it. I'm going to let you all go ahead and handle that. So it's not my gig. But I thought the same thing. So I decided to do a little bit of research, and turns out there are actually a lot of issues that are senior specific, like reverse mortgages or Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, all those things that happen to play in to any sort of loans that they could be getting for their next home. There's also considerations in downsizing or in moving somewhere else that's close to the family. It could be long distance moving. So there's actually a lot of other things that play into how a senior acts and behaves within the real estate industry itself. So again, that was my thought. You're not alone in that. That's what you originally thought. But there are a lot of specializations that differentiate the older population from the younger population, and that's where your marketing technique needs to zero in on. So I guess you would have to figure out first if you could go ahead and tap into that market. Like I said, if you live in one of the top 10 states for older population, then that would work out in your favor. But if you live in a younger state, such as, say, let's see, who's at the bottom of the list here? Well, of course not Alaska. Utah, Texas, Georgia, Colorado, California, Louisiana, Wyoming, Maryland, any one of those, this probably isn't going to address you. But I will get another video out there that will tell people, or tell you realtors, how to cater and market to someone, say, of my age group. I'm a millennial, to say the least. And I would like to think I know how my generation acts and behaves and does all that business, but that's a later video at a later time. So let's go ahead and dive right into this whole thing and what you would need to know in order to make the most out of your marketing efforts to the senior population. Now, I already went over the top states. So like I said, the first thing to do is to do the market research. If say you are in Texas, for example, but you just happen to be in a community where it's mostly retirees, you could easily tap into that one as well. It's not uncommon, so that's something you can do. So I guess the first thing that I would like to go over is the SRES certification that a lot of you realtors might be interested in. And the whole reason why I say that this might be a good idea is because you could go looking for this information by yourself, and you could probably find a lot of it. But mind you, that's probably going to take a good long while. I mean, I think I only scratched the surface with what I'm about to tell you, just based on what information that I have and the people that I spoke with in the past week. Mind you, this was after a week's worth of research. Like I said, I'm gathering that I'm only scratching the surface. I'm sure that this goes farther and farther down and goes from there. The point that I'm getting at is that if it took me a week just to understand the basics of marketing to seniors in real estate, then I can only imagine how much more complex it would go and how much more time it would take in order to make a marketing plan or anything like that anyone could use. So the SRES certification just might be worth it. It all depends on how much time that you have and what your resources are. For me, like I said, I'm not getting into real estate anytime soon, so you don't have to worry about competing with me, of course, because I'd be so great at it. Anyways, so that might be worth it to you, and it might be worth looking into if you want to go ahead and take advantage of the fact that Florida has about, what is it, the last check that they had? Let's see here, when was this written? Okay. So in 2013, they charted it at 19%. Now, in the past, I think 4 or 5 years alone, that has grown exponentially. That has grown well past 20% and into the 30s last time I checked. So I'd have to double check that, but that was the last percentage that I found. And if that's the case, and especially with the baby boomer population, that's only going to continue to grow. And you need to think about how you can incorporate that into your own marketing plan. Yes, the millennials are looking more into getting into real estate and looking more into housing and things like that, but that does not mean to completely ignore the senior population, because you're missing a big opportunity with that. So definitely look into the SRES certification. It could be useful to you. Yeah, it's a little bit pricey. Last I checked, it was around $250, but that could be worth your money, so you wouldn't have to spend weeks on end trying to figure out how exactly to go from A to B to C to W, X, Y, Z. So might be worth it, might not. That's up to you to decide. The next thing that I wanted to go over, oh, wait, hold on. Actually, I was speaking with one of our own realtors earlier, and she has an SRES certification. Two of our own real estate agents over Realty Partners have SRES certification. One of them said that she really didn't find much value or use in it, but that was just her take. It could have been the market area, it could have been any number of things. But then another one spoke up and said that she gathered a lot of use and value from it. And it was mostly because of her area. Let's see. Yeah, she told me, she's one of her junior partners, by the way. And she said, definitely Florida and specifically Sarasota area has more seniors, aka 55 plus, than anywhere else. This is a niche This is a niche which could be very profitable as the population ages and seniors downsize or have to move for medical reasons. Have to add, most 55 plus buyers and sellers don't care or want to hear about SRES, but for those that do, it comforts them in the hard times. So what an SRES can do is that you also say to people that you're well connected with the community, you can go ahead and get everything done, and that you can make the process as smooth as possible. And that's what a lot of senior citizens want, especially if they're moving phases in life, is to bring as much comfort as you can. Going on forward. Oh yeah, she said it can be a lengthening tracks act. I cannot talk today, I apologize. She said it can be a lengthy transaction, but it's also very rewarding. So that might be a specialization that you could look into as well in your own real estate practice. Let's see. So going off on that one with the certification, it's also very important that you get connected within your local community. And I know I keep stating this, but that's because it's all the more important. If you choose to stay in all the time, that's going to hurt your business. That's not going to do much. You can go ahead and do Google Ads all you want. You can go on Facebook, you can SEO, you can do all these other sort of digital platforms. And yes, that will take you somewhere, but it's not going to take you all the way, especially in terms of the senior citizen real estate niche. So the best way to go about that is to ensure that you are connected with just about everybody who can help in the industry. Things such as estate sales or professional organizers or any of these people that specialize in cleaning up the house and making it look nice, and also not to mention the transition into maybe an assisted living facility. So Debbie Dunbar, the one who I mentioned earlier, who's a junior partner at Realty Partners, her specialty was with assisted living facilities as well in helping senior citizens transfer from say just their home that they've been in for 30 odd years and over into an assisted living facility. She made sure that the process went along smoothly and everything happened in the way that they wanted, and just going along those lines. So that's also very important to know. But one has to be sure to be connected in order to make those promises to your senior clients to gain their trust. And if you demonstrate with action that you can do this, then they're going to refer you over to their friends, and their friends are going to refer you, and then that's just how the chain goes. Let's see. Now, in contrast to that, the SEO is a very important thing to go off of in terms of the digital marketing front, and here's why. I understand that a lot of you are thinking, well, these are senior citizens. I mean, yes, they use Facebook sometimes, but what would SEO prove to me? Here's the thing. A lot of people that are looking to move or going to be looking on the internet are going to be their adult children. So people around the ages of, say, around my age, which is around 30 years old up to about 50. So somewhere along those lines, they're going to be using the internet in order to find someone who can help them the best. And like I said last time on the last video that I did, about 90% of people use the internet as the first lead off to find a realtor to use within their own transactions. So the SEO would be the perfect way to capture these people. And if you go ahead and go to my blog post, which will be published later after this video, you will see that I have 3 screenshots on there. 2 of them are from my Moz SEO optimizer, which is a special extension. It's a great thing to have, especially if you're in the real estate industry, because then it can list to you what keywords are best used, what keywords are not being utilized that you can capitalize, and go from there in terms of your Google Ads. So if you can get your SEO niche to reflect the senior citizens that are in real estate, you can very likely be at the forefront of when the adult children go looking for someone to help them sell their parents' house. So doing the SEO research to optimize your website will get you more visibility as well as more consideration. That proves to their adult children that you know what you're doing and that you're not just trying to figure things out on your own. Being technologically savvy is important to a lot of people nowadays. Maybe not so much to the older generation, although that's not true. I mean, there's still a lot of senior citizens out there which are fascinated with technology and they know more than me about it. But that's going to help you if you up your SEO game. That's going to help you in terms of your paid advertising if you want to go ahead and use the Google monster to buy their ads and make sure that you're at the forefront or at the very top of the list. If you want to do that, as well as your organic search. I will talk about organic search at a later date and how you can utilize the content of your website in order to harness in those people that are looking to help themselves with this process. And lastly, there is something to say about the old school tactics, especially when it comes to people 55 and over. A lot of people in this niche, they prefer to have a sort of paper copy or to talk to someone in person, to have that personal connection like they did in the good old days. So that is something to consider as well. So things like door hangers, postcards, brochures, things like that, that might actually serve towards your purpose if you're going to be targeting that niche. Now, you have to be careful with this because some wrong design or something that you think is really flashy might not get their attention, or it might turn them off and they'll just chuck it, throw it away. With this old school tactic with using print media and the like, repetition is key. If it's likely that the first time you're not going to get much calls, and oftentimes that can deter marketers and deter realtors from trying this aspect again, because they say, oh, I spent $100 to send out these postcards to people and I didn't get anything. Repetition is key here. If you choose to only try it once and it did not work, and try it twice, try it 3 times, third time's a charm, something like that. And a lot of times it takes many touches before someone's going to make a decision about that. So if they keep seeing your ads, if they keep seeing you and your business, then chances are you're going to be on the top of their mind if and when they want to sell or if and when they want to buy. And that's what's really important. And also farming, that's also super important, because you just don't want to be like, oh, and scatter and trying to crop dust everything within a 14-mile radius. That's not going to work. You have to figure out where the people are and target them from there. It sounds counterintuitive, but it works. But overall, the best tactic that you can use is by talking to them, is by actually asking questions when they agree to meet with you. If you come off as some person that only wants to close or just run along with the transaction just to get that sweet commission, they're going to see right through it. They've been on this earth for a long, long time. That's not going to fly. And no, I don't mean a long, long time. I mean that in a very loving and wisdom sort of sense. But the best way to do that is to be sure to talk to them like humans. There's a lot of times where realtors can miss out on that sense of personality. They can miss out on that personal touch that a lot of times is missing, especially on the digital front. You can go ahead and blog and write and do all you want. You can do all the live videos that you want as well. But when they meet you in person, they want to have a sense that they can trust you, that you know what you're doing, and that you're not just there for their commission. Because sometimes money's tight with senior citizens, especially those that are on Social Security and Medicare, Medicaid. So, like what Debbie Dunbar said, it can be a lengthy transaction, but it's very rewarding. And you have to think about that. So, that's just my closing outfit on that. So I guess if you all have any other questions or anything that pops to mind, anything that I missed, go ahead and feel free to let me know. You can catch me by my email. That's joe.faulkner, and no, it's just J-O. It's just 2 letters. There's no E. It confuses Starbucks all the time. And so it's jo.faulkner, F-A-L-K-N-E-R, at realty-partners.com. And that will go ahead and get you directly connected to me. Even if you're with another agency, even if you're with another broker, I'd be more than happy to help you out with any other little tips I can give. I can't draw out an entire marketing plan for you, but I can go ahead and give you some tips or some tricks or something that might help you out. I mean, it's all about success here. Kind of like what we do even with the brokerage that I'm with right now. Like I said, I'm just a marketing specialist. I do not have I do not have a real estate license, and I don't plan to. That game is up to you. But the success is what's honestly most important. I What I see a lot of is many realtors dropping out of the game too soon. That's because they don't see a quick turnover. They don't see the money that they were promised. They don't have, well, I've seen a lot of other agents drop out because their broker broke their promises to them. I mean, we've been keeping our promises here for a good long while, and not as expensive as some other brokers are. So with our agents owning 55% of the company, that's basically putting the agents in charge. That's not saying that there's one guy who's in charge of everything. No, the agents are the owners here. They own 55% of the company, and that's what makes us different than the other ones. No one else is doing this. And with that, you have to take that into effect too. What are you going to give your clients? Are you going to give them a cookie cutter kind of experience where it's cold and unfriendly and all they care about is a transaction? Or are you going to have a smile on your face and be there for your clients because you know you're getting your fair share of the money? You're getting a profit share, you're getting the residuals, you're getting a whole lot of different things when you join us at Realty Partners. So that's one thing to go ahead and keep in mind, just for when January rolls around and you're thinking about brokers. So yeah, if anybody has anything else to add to this, I realize now I've been on for about 22 minutes, but you know, it's the regular for now. So all right, everybody. Well, I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Feel free also to tweet at me. I'm on Twitter at J-O, Realty Partner. Drop a line. I like it when people say hi. So feel free to drop on by and say hi to me on Twitter, Facebook. I'm on Instagram. But you have to find me on there. Challenge. All right. Well, I will see everybody later. Have a good day.